Well, let's see how long this is gonna last. Today we had the very last Division 1 Cash Cup of the season before the Major 1 Summit Lan, and on EU we had a pretty unexpected ending to the tournament. However, on NA it literally came down to the very final game, so I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's get into it. Now guys, you gotta remember this is the last tournament other than the Eval Cup that we're gonna see before the Summit Lan. So this is now gonna be our official last look at some of the teams going into it. And in first place on NA is actually his birthday today of Cold and Rapid. Now they managed to finish the tournament with 330 points, winning 2 out of their 6 matches, gaining 28 total eliminations. Now they played absolutely insane today. Going over their match history, they got a 9 elimination win, an 8 elimination win, and then a 6 elimination second. And it literally came down to the very final game where they actually got a 0 elimination 18th. And after they went down, Josh and Yamzo were right behind them, and they were trying to get as many points as they possibly can. But it didn't manage to work out in their favor, and Cold and Rapid managed to take home the tournament win. So a W birthday gift for Cold as well. This is also their first set lobby finals, landing at their new drop spot, and after today this is definitely going to make them the NA favorites and possibly a Major 1 Summit favorite, since pretty much everyone on NA is just contesting each other, which is very unfortunate. NA is just completely down the toilet this season. Second place we had Queasy and Aiden, a more underrated team, not a Summit Lan team. They finished off the tournament with 318 points. They didn't win any games today, but they got average placement of 8.17, which is, I believe, the most consistent team of the day. If we go over the match history, they got a 2 elimination 9th, a 3 elimination 2nd, a 0 elimination 4th. Then they got a 7 elimination 4th, and then a 6 elimination 2nd in their very last game. So if they just managed to convert their 1 elimination 28th into like a top 5, then they possibly could have won this entire tournament, taking over Cold and Rapid. If they did not get the 28th place, they would have an average placement of 4.2, which would be beyond the most consistent team of the day. Third place, you gotta kind of feel bad for Josh and Yamzo, gained 310 points. Now they were in second place going into their last game, and after Cold and Rapid died off spawn, they possibly needed to win the game, and they unfortunately went down in 4th place in the very final game, which is very unfortunate, but still a top 3 finish. I swear, Josh and Yamzo have been looking super primed up right now since they qualified for Summit Lan, so I'm really excited to see how this team plays out. Probably the biggest name, the number just never seems to escape him, and that is Clicks and Higgs in 4th place, getting 270 points. Now they kind of had a rocky tournament, I'm not gonna lie. Now looking at their match history just for the placements, it didn't look too crazy. They only got in I believe 3 top 10s this entire tournament. Yeah, 3 top 10s this entire tournament, and that is but however, they did manage to get the kills. They got a 5 elimination 6, an 8 elimination 5th, and then a 6 elimination 10th. So they definitely proved they could definitely get kills in the finals lobbies. It's just all of the matter of them getting consistency and getting the kills at the same time. So if they manage to just combine those together, I feel like we could possibly see them do very well. However, there are contesting Peterbot, so maybe not. In 5th place, we actually have a team that I feel like hasn't been placing this high in central lobbies in a very long time, and that is Victor V and Canada. They managed to get 268 points, and they had an average placement of 12.8, gained 18 eliminations. So very good stuff from Canada and Victor V, the NA West champions. And like I said, they haven't placed this high in a set lobby finals in what feels like an eternity at this point. So I really am curious to see how they're going to place when going into the Major 1 Summit. Going over the rest of the top 10, 6th place we have Shao and Virgo. They're also the only other team to manage to get 2 out of 6 wins alongside Cold and Rapid. 7th place we have Javi and Aminish. 8th place we have Noxy and Golden. 9th place we have Acorn and Bolts. Now, Acorn and Bulls were having a very rough tournament today, so I would consider a 9th place to be a very respectable placement by them, just for them absolutely going through it today. And then 10th place, we had Scare and Osid. Going over some of our other LAN teams, in 11th place we had Agers and Ritual. Now this team was getting contested by Reet and Cooper, and they are going to be conning each other during the Summit Lan. Now this Agers and Ritual actually did get the better of the spawn fight, finishing like 5-1 on the day. However, as you guys know, when it comes to a duos game mode, it is very hard for you to do well while you're being contested, unless you're Peterbot or Shark. 12th place we have Jargu and Carillion. 14th place we have Hari and Cammy, a EU team. 15th place we have Muzz and Sphinx. Now this is honestly a very rough sign for Muzz and Sphinx. Well, when we get to EU, you're gonna see why. 16th place we have Kingaling and Craze. Probably the biggest off spawn and drama that we have today on NA is 17th place of Velo and Zynox. Now this team was actually landing at their drop spot of Squibbly Shores up against Peterbot, and they managed to finish 4-1 today. Let me read that again. They finished 4-1 today. Now, I don't even know how that's even possible. Keep in mind, both these guys are on like 150 ping, and they managed to finish 4-1 up against Peterbot and Pollo, which is honestly just a very bad sign for NA all as a whole. Like, we all know Clicks and Higgs are contested Peterbot and Pollo at Squibbly Shores, and if this is the performance that Pierre and Pollo are going to put up at the Summit Lan, then it is honestly not going to be a good sign. And I honestly don't see a world where Peterbot and Pollo sit together after globals if this is the off spawn rep they're going into Summit with. Now, I'm not saying that is going to happen, but it's definitely something that I feel like we all should consider. We even have Clicks replying to Velo's tweet saying 4-1 on 130 ping against, I'm assuming that's a gremlin troll emoji for you guys that don't know. Peterbot and Pollo are kind of known for being a bunch of gremlins, and then he said, holy crap, you're nasty, dude. So you can already tell Clicks is very hyped going into this, boosting his confidence just more and more the time that Peterbot and Pollo are not doing well. Now, even though this is a very bad sign for Peterbot and Pollo, I am still expecting Peterbot and Pollo and Clicks Higgs go almost dead even in the off spawn fight. For me, it's either 5-3 to Peterbot and Pollo or 5-3 in favor of Clicks and Higgs if they manage to both make it to the finals. However, it is just out in the dark right now, so you can never really know. So, but speaking of Peterbot and Pollo, they managed to finish in 21st place. Now, as you can see from the match history, yeah, it's definitely not looking great for them, just based on this first image here. And most of the points they have gotten was from their 17 elimination 6. So it's just they're definitely getting kills, but today was just not a turn. Today was just not their tournament, man. Another LAN team of 29th place, we have Aviv and Cam, just continuing to struggle like always. In 32nd place, we have Visuals and Braids. 38th place, we have Cooper and Reet. Now, the only game they actually managed to win off spawn, they managed to get a 6 elimination 7, so they are showing that once they make it off spawn, they actually can perform, but today was just not the off spawn score for them. And going over some of the last few EU teams, in 48th place we have Focus and Thomas HD, and then in 49th place, almost in dead last, we have Marius and Ferdoxy. Now, I don't usually do this on my channel too much, but I actually want to show the stats of this tournament since this is the last tournament before the Summit Lan other than the Eval Cup, but let's be honest, no one cares about Eval Cups. So in first place for solo eliminations, we actually had the birthday boy of Cold getting 21 eliminations. Second place, we had Higgs with 20. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the last time I've seen Higgs this high on the solo elim leaderboard since like pre-season of the first season of the chapter. So Higgs is really stepping into his own, going all in for the Summit Lan. In third place, we had Javi. Fourth Fourth place, we have Virgo. Fifth is Ritual. Sixth is Josh. Seventh, we have Aiden. Eighth, we have Peterbot getting 12 eliminations. So even with Peterbot getting absolutely belted off spawn, he still managed to finish top 8 most eliminations. Ninth place, we had Craig's, and then 10th place, we had Clicks. Now, even with Clicks and Higgs not even finishing top 3 in today's tournament, they still managed to finish with the most eliminations today. So shout out to Clicks and Higgs, man. They're actually looking super primed up going into Summit Lan. Unfortunately, they are gonna be conning a brand new drop spot, aka Peterbot Poyo. Which is very unfortunate, but their whole goal is to just grief Peterbot Poyo. So we're just gonna see how that goes. Going with the rest of the leaderboard of the most team kills. Second place we had Cole and Rapid. Third place we had Ages of Ritual. Fourth place we had Peterbot and Poyo. Fifth place we had Josh and Yamzo. Sixth is Javi and Minish. Seventh we had Clixie and Aiden. Eighth place we had Shao and Virgo. Ninth place we had Kingling and Craze. Then 10th place we had Victor V and Kanata. Now, before we move over to EU, I quickly want to show some of the best clips that we actually got from today in the NA Div Cup Finals. So I'm going to go ahead and play some of those up right now, and then we'll move on to EU.
And Acorn and Bolt's now forced back in a storm, and this could be a disastrous rotate. Acorn slamming his head right now. Unfortunately, he's got to have a headache after that one. Acorn, I think it looked worse than it actually was, but Acorn is still going to have a rough time there. That rotate, it was a painful one to watch. There's really no other way to put it.
2v2? Is this a 2v2 chat? Cold Rapid versus Zavi in a minute? 169? 200! Oh my god! Cold with 6. Cold with 8, 9 kill win. Oh my fucking god, bro.
We are going to see Higgs go down. That has to be Chimp. It is. Every time you see that skin, you know it's Chimp. One of the OGs. But Rapid and Cold are still fragging out down here as well. 6 eliminations, 171. First place right now and trying to spread the lead as far as they can over Josh and Yomzo, who unfortunately went down early. But Clicks might be able to play spoiler, but no, they're going to go straight into the trap as well. Rapid and Cold have at no point in this game looked like they aren't going to win this. It is insane.
Yeah, there's only one actual duo still left alive. That's Tarami the Cat, and that's his teammate, but it only lasts for so long. Victor V makes the sacrifice, takes one down along with him. Cold and Rapid catching 8 eliminations, 200 points. They didn't just take first, they built themselves a cushion.
I swear he didn't even look. He was just trying to pickaxe. Aw, look at this just discipline, bro. We're just not giving you anything, bro. This is so sad. Come on, Reed. He's just weakening them? I guess, yeah. What does he just have to work with here, though? Oh, he's in! No. No, Reed, no. And he's gritting on you, bro. Make sure I don't see you.
His word is actually Conan. Oh, shit. All right.
I bet it's not a mantle mark.
Velo's making enemies right before land. Damn. I kind of question whether he'd go here. Only 92 in, though. We're missing 8 players. What happened there? Fine. Oh, mantle onto the gun. Wait a second. Velo with the god drop. Wait a second. Velo with the god drop.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Now on EU, we definitely had a much more surprising winner on EU of Nathan and Nebs. Now, Fortnite Tracker for some reason just breaks every 10 minutes after the tournament is over. So we're just using a Saurian for EU today. But they managed to Nathan and Nebs managed to finish first place of the tournament, getting 342 points. They didn't win any games today, but they got 23 total eliminations. Now, if we go over the their match history, they were extremely consistent today. They got a 2 elimination 5th, a 5 elimination 2nd, a 3 elimination 12th, 4 elimination 11th, 2 elimination 6th, and then 7 elimination 3rd to end off the tournament. So they were just fully playing super consistent Fortnite, which is just insane. So shout out to Nebs and Nathan. Now remember what I said, Muzz and Spinks should be worried, is because Nathan and Nebs are landing humble hills. So it's definitely gonna be not a good sign for Muzz and Sphinx going into Summit Lan. In second place, we actually had the EU FNCS champions of Sky and Scroll. They managed to finish with 303 points, winning 1 out of their 1 out of their 6 matches, and they managed to get 29 total eliminations. Now, if we go over their match history, they got a 9 elimination third, a 10 elimination win. Then they got a very rough 2 elimination 28th, but they managed to come back with the 1 elimination 8th. Then they got a 3 elimination 9th in their last game. So it was a very up and down tournament. It does seem like a lot of the pro players are seemingly going on low ground more. And if you've been watching Sky Troll's gameplay, they are a low ground dominant team, and that they actually started going with height a lot more. However, it does seem to be working for them, kind of, but it is not really the playstyle that they're used to. In third place, we have a team that I am kind of rocky on, and that is Vico and Malibuca. Now, they managed to finish with 272 points, gaining 30 eliminations, which is, I think, the most eliminations out of this entire tournament. I could be wrong. However, the reason why I'm kind of iffy about this team is that there are times where they are just the best team on the region, just finishing nothing but a top 3 every single week. But there are also times where they just underperform. So I really am interested to see how this team is going to play out during the Summit Lan. In fourth place, I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely not the best performance I was wanting from Shark and Teeny from Uncon Walking Land. Now, not to say that they played bad or anything, they were just getting some very unlucky moments. For example, in game 5, where they got a 1 elimination 14th, they actually died to Fredoxy and Queasy.
Okay. Got a good game on our hands here. Oh, Fred, someone challenged. Who was it? Anonymous. Who was it? Oh, it goes Teeny? It was Teeny and Shark. Oh my god, Fred and Queasy took down Teeny and Shark. Oh my god. The fucking goats.
So yeah, definitely not the best looks for Shark and Teeny, but however, I am still predicting them to finish at least top 10 in the Summit Lan. In going over the rest of the top 10, 5th place we had iDrop and Marius. 6th place we had Snaze and Scary. 7th place we had the Cash Cup winners of last week of Akira and Kurama. Yes, I still do keep up with competitive Fortnite, even though I haven't uploaded in 3 months. 8th place we have Cringer and Volko. 9th place we have Moneymaker and Fanayan. And then 10th place we have Howley and Ilusha. Going over some of our land teams, we had 13th place of Chap and Flixie. Same thing as always, man, just not really getting the consistency points. They are getting a lot of kills though, which is something, and I just really want this team to just do well. They just can't seem to put the pieces together, unfortunately. 16th place we have Vidil and Ju. 17th place we had Queasy and Fredoxy. Now, once again, just an absolutely shocking performance by them. With them winning the game number 5 while they literally took down Shark and Teeny.
Only duo. 1v2, 1v1, another kill taken out for Fred. Top 4, 2v1v1 situation. We cannot lose. We cannot lose from here. Box.
You would have to.
Mongol Classic like in 2019. Really 30. Fred?
You would have to sell really bad. You'd have to
Nice,
die to
okay.
Storm or...
Nah, they can't lose this. They can't lose this. Pop the pizza, Fred. Drop down again. 2v1 situation. Unlosable. Just gotta kill it. You just gotta hold your shotgun. For pace.
This is unlosable.
Fred and Queasy are back.
50% win rate.
We have a Fredoxy Queasy win in EU in the big 2026.
However, other than that, they didn't really have any special moments. We actually did had a Queasy crash out today, as always.
Going top 1.
I'm dead. Of course I'm dead. Like, why am I dead? Man, holy fucking cancer. Fucking banana retard.
Like 2-1.
They're on the hill. They're above you.
What's this thingy? Yeah. Is this weak though?
Land on him next game.
Yeah, and then
18th place, we have Noah Rayleigh and Rezon. Now, this team was also contested off spawn today. They did also get the better of spawn fight, but yeah, again, like I said earlier, it is really hard to do well off spawn, man. And they actually did manage to win their 4th game today, so that is a W in the book, I guess. And honestly, Noah Rayleigh and Rezon have been looking really, really good as of late. They just are getting very unlucky in some of their games. We also had Rezon crashing out on Twitter, just calling out the people that were contesting them. And honestly, I remember like a couple months ago, people were calling that Rezon was actually going to retire since he wasn't playing the game as much. Him going on his like IRL content arc, but he does prove that he is still passionate of the game. And it does seem like he is fully back in grinding, which is very good to see. 20th place, we had Hari and Cammy once again, just not really showing any signs of consistency whatsoever. And you can make that same exact saying for Swissy and Pixie in 27th place. I'm not really sure what happened to this team. They were actually looking super good during the off season. I'm not really sure what has been going on with them recently. However, I do really hope they manage to fix up some of their mistakes for the Summit Lan. In 30th place, we have another not so great finals performance from Mr. Savage and Velo. Now, even though this is not a great finals performance whatsoever, believe it or not, this is actually one of the better finals performances that they have ever gotten this season. So they are slowly improving, and going through their match history, they are slowly getting better placements later in the tournament. So they are showing that they can get they can't get into endgame, but it's honestly just a mix of them just getting surprise con and also just having like very rough mid games. So I really am hoping and what they have cooked up for the Summit Lan, since they are most likely either going to be contesting a split drop, or they're going to be landing on Peterbot and Pollo or Clicks and Higgs, or possibly both of them if all three manage to qualify for the Summit Finals. That'll be crazy. That'll be by far the biggest names of Fortnite just completely contesting each other, which is just going to be absolutely insane.
Come on.
Paradoxy's leading end game? Yeah. Oh, Noah down. That's a bit unfortunate for our POVs. That means Rezon's now solo. Sorry,
where's that? Oh my god. No! Paradoxy, don't ever shit talk me again. Don't ever shit talk me again, Paradoxy. Don't ever shit talk me again.
And probably the biggest disappointing LAN team today was 32nd place of Focus and Thomas HD. I can't even tell you what happened with them, man. Like, they got the eliminations, but they really just weren't showing any consistency at all today. Going over some of the final stats, for damage ratio, in 10th place we had Snaze with 1.55. 9th place we had Kenty. 8th we had Marius. 7th we had Howley. 6th we had Fito. 5th we had Jew. 4th we had Cringe. 3rd we had Scroll. 2nd we had Nebs, and then 1st place we had Shark, like always. The top 3 most damage was actually 1st place of Nebs, 2nd place of Scroll, and then 3rd place of Vico. And then total eliminations, the top 3 for most eliminations were 1st place of Vico with 14, and then Sky and Scroll both got 13 eliminations. And I don't know how I almost forgot to say this, but we actually got a tweet from Queasy tweeting out, looking for duo NAC for EWC, FNCS, and Dip Cups. We'll be on 0 ping and grinding, flying in after Summit. So we finally are going to be getting Queasy and NA, and now we're going to be having Queasy and Velo, both of the biggest performing teams from EU, playing on NA. And we finally, after multiple years, we finally have Typical Gamer finally getting his very own icon skin. Now, I don't know what took him so long for him to get him an icon skin, but at least it's finally here, man. Anyways, that's it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.